Hey everyone, this is Zero Prime and welcome to another edition of Zero Review, a series in which I look back on the games I played and give you my thoughts and opinions about said games. And on today's episode I will be talking about an old game from the Super Nintendo era, which is part of a well-known RPG series but was not well received with most of the fans. And that game is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Now, a lot of people may have heard about what Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is, but in general, it's a different type of RPG game that it does play like an RPG, but it has different mechanics, especially on the map, in which you can make the character jump and use tools to solve puzzles and everything. And the monsters and boss fight kind of remind me more a bit on the Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior gameplay, which you see the monster's icon in front of you and then you just attack it. And of course it had the interesting mechanic of which basically the more damage you do to a certain point, you see the monsters and bosses in a weak in a damaged state. And I always thought that was interesting, and I liked the game because to me it had a lot of childhood memories to it, and I always thought about it being like, like a little introduction to the Final Fantasy series. And a lot of people of course found that a bit insulting because it was like too simple, because it wasn't really that much difficult, because the gameplay, it's rather easy. I mean, you don't even need to basically level up too much, because basically especially the final boss, you can just use the white magic or life and cure to do massive damage to kill it. So there's really not that much strategy or planning for that. But I always like to play it because for a simple gameplay, because it's just rather fun in my opinion for that. And basically, like I said, that it just had a lot of getting a bit tongue-tied, had a bit of nostalgic feeling to that, because I always liked playing that game along with Final Fantasy 2 and 3, also known as Final Fantasy 4 and 6 at the time as well. So I definitely did enjoy playing that as a kid. I wouldn't say it's like the best Final Fantasy game, but I still say that, I could just pop it in on my Super Nintendo and just play it just for the heck of it and have fun with it. Now, of course, I can, agree that it's too simple, and also, of course, this was way back when, before the translations were up to date and everything, that some of the translations and dialogue is a little bit too. I'm trying to find the right word, because if the term English is for people that can't speak English well, then how would you say that for like in Japanese for translation? And like I said, the translations at the time were not that great basically, and that's just seemed kind of like offbeat or off-center, or not in a good flow like in a normal conversation. Because if you were to have those kind of conversations with other people, they would just be confused. It's like, what are you talking about? Because it's like, they went from one topic, then suddenly the next second it's like, oh, let's talk about this topic. But like I said, this game is basically, it's not the best Final Fantasy game, and some people don't consider it a Final Fantasy game. But to me, I enjoyed it. So, like I said, you either like it or you don't, and that's okay. Because everyone has to have their preferences and also their tastes as well, and their taste in life as well. But I would say that if you ever get a chance to get a copy of this game or play it, then give it a try and just have fun with it. If you like it, that's good. If you don't, well, you don't like it. But anyway, that's all the time I have for this episode, guys. So as usual, thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a comment below, subscribe for more video update. Share this on your Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and all other social medias. And don't forget to hit the like button, help out the channel, and to turn on the notification bell to stay up to date on my channel. And if you guys want to help me out in some shape or form, I do have a Patreon account down below. And as usual, guys, thank you for watching and have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.